What if I told you that the true cost of your daily routine isn't in dollars, but in the invisible trap quietly keeping your wealth, opportunities, and freedom out of reach? Not because you lack effort. Not because the system is broken. But because almost no one teaches the rules that actually govern financial success. In the age of endless hustle culture, flashy side hustles, and viral investment tips, people are working harder than ever, yet falling further behind. Not because effort fails. Because effort without understanding creates an illusion of progress, a treadmill that looks like movement but keeps you stuck. You scroll financial news, watch investment gurus, follow budget hacks, and yet, at the end of the month, the balance doesn't reflect your effort. That empty space in your wallet isn't random. It's a pattern. And if you don't recognize it, you will keep accepting financial struggle as normal. This matters today because millions of people live in this invisible financial loop. Employees clock in and out but never learn how money actually works. Entrepreneurs chase revenue but ignore capital efficiency. Even investors follow trends instead of understanding risk and systemic patterns. Financial networks give the illusion of opportunity while masking structural barriers. And this illusion makes financial struggle socially invisible. Everyone is in the game, so no one notices the invisible traps in between. The first core idea is the difference between activity and leverage. Humans are wired to work for visible results. Small wins feel like progress. But true wealth comes from systems, not motion. Trading hours for dollars creates short-term spikes in income but rarely builds long-term financial security. Activity is visible. Leverage is invisible. The second core idea is comparison and social pressure. Platforms and social feeds show curated success. Friends' side hustles, colleagues' promotions, influencers' portfolios. This triggers financial comparison bias, a psychological tendency to measure your worth against others. This isn't harmless envy. It amplifies stagnation. If you feel everyone else is growing while you're stuck, you're less likely to take calculated risks or focus on compounding advantage. Ironically, more financial visibility can deepen financial invisibility. The third core idea is systemic invisibility. Financial failure is framed as personal weakness rather than structural consequence. Schools teach budgeting, not money creation. Jobs reward activity, not equity. Social circles celebrate hustle, not leverage. Efficiency is prioritized over strategic thinking. When structural traps exist, admitting struggle feels like failure. This silences discussion and reinforces the loop. The fourth core idea, the paradox of abundance. Money flows faster, wider, and deeper than ever. Technology enables instant transactions, micro-investments, and global networking. You can see endless opportunities yet feel further from financial freedom. Behavioral psychology explains this. We confuse visibility with progress. Notifications trigger dopamine spikes, but they are shallow. We mistake fleeting attention for actionable insight. The more we chase opportunity signals, the emptier our financial control becomes. The fifth core idea, economic incentives behind financial illusions. Financial media, apps, and platforms profit from engagement. Algorithms push trending stocks, viral business models, and high turnover strategies, not sustainable wealth. Engagement equals revenue. True financial mastery is slow, compounding, and untrackable. Meanwhile, workplaces and social structures have adapted. Side hustles are celebrated. Metrics are gamified. Quick wins replace strategic patience. Systems reward superficial activity, not real financial power. As intensity increases, consequences multiply. Financial stress affects health, relationships, and decision-making. Poor planning and short-term thinking erode wealth. Communities see rising inequality because access to structural knowledge determines outcomes. Another hidden pattern emerges. Financial inertia is self-perpetuating. When people feel behind, they chase the next trend rather than foundational principles. Over-reliance on tips, social proof, and shortcuts creates a feedback loop. The more normalized financial struggle becomes, the harder it is to escape. Behavioral inertia locks people into a cycle of quiet dependence. Let's challenge a common belief, that being financially connected means being financially successful. It doesn't. Visibility amplifies perception, not power. Algorithms show what grabs attention, not what builds wealth. Viral trends prioritize novelty, not compounding advantage. Engagement metrics reward clicks, not competence. Technology magnifies signals while ignoring substance. Yet patterns are consistent across cultures and economies. Urbanization, work structures, and mobility separate people from financial mentorship. Families live further apart. Communities fragment. Digital networks fill gaps superficially. The systems created to bridge distance inadvertently deepen financial ignorance. The sixth core idea is attention scarcity. Human attention is finite. Hyper-connected financial networks demand constant focus on news, trends, alerts, and notifications. Your attention is a resource being extracted. Cognitive overload reduces strategic thinking and patience. You can monitor hundreds of updates but fail to execute a single high-leverage decision. Scarcity transforms potential wealth into shallow activity, perpetuating normalized financial struggle. At scale, societies with normalized financial inertia see rising debt, weaker economic mobility, and reduced trust in institutions. Isolation in financial literacy erodes collective opportunity. Public discourse becomes shallow. Innovation suffers because real leverage requires trust, collaboration, and strategic thinking, qualities eroded by low intimacy, high visibility financial networks. Behavioral science explains persistence. Humans adapt to perceived norms. When everyone appears hustling, distracted, or superficially engaged, we calibrate expectations accordingly. Struggle feels normal because it is normalized. Social proof reinforces behavior. If everyone else seems active, but wealth accumulation is minimal, we accept it as sufficient. Technology intensifies this. Algorithms detect engagement patterns and feed content to maintain attention, not mastery. Notifications trigger dopamine. Temporary excitement mimics progress. Long-term financial growth remains elusive. Economic and social structures reinforce it. Remote work reduces incidental financial mentorship. Urban planning prioritizes efficiency over knowledge sharing. Financial rituals shrink under time pressure. Each design subtly prioritizes visibility over substance, speed over depth, and quantity over quality. As these patterns compound, society quietly accepts, activity equals progress, struggle is personal, and long-term wealth is invisible. This normalization makes intervention harder. Programs often target individuals instead of network design, mentorship access, or systemic knowledge gaps. The final insight is clear. Financial hyper-visibility didn't fail by accident. Systems were built for engagement, speed, and measurable activity, not true financial mastery. Struggle persists not because humans lack capacity, but because structures reward motion over leverage. The critical realization: wealth is not automatic. It cannot be outsourced to apps, feeds, or notifications. It requires intentionality, patience, and strategic friction. Society currently prioritizes convenience over depth, speed over substance, and quantity over quality. Understanding this changes perspective. Financial struggle is not personal failure. It is a predictable outcome of systemic design and human psychology. Awareness allows us to navigate networks intentionally, prioritize leverage, and recognize that real wealth requires more than a click, a scroll, or a like. Because until we see the systems shaping our financial lives, we will continue to accept struggle as normal, and the quiet disconnection from true wealth will grow, unnoticed, behind every screen.